listening to the Woken Up Woken Podcast. Woken Up Friends.
So hey, welcome to the show. This is episode 8.
Ocho.
Yeah, we left off.
Are you just gonna yell random Spanish words the whole night? Or are you
Yep.
just,
the
All right.
ocho?
Jaqueto. Oh, ocho.
Hola.
Ocho.
Estoy bien. Hey.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's loud.
Oh,
That's loud. Ah, that hurt. That hurt somebody's ear.
let's get an actual air horn.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Don't do that again.
Jesus. Yeah.
She's
Fuck,
like,
of all
everybody
the-
sleep.
Of all the sounds that I could have done, that one.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was bad.
Yeah. So where did we leave off?
So we were. I was talking about this BuzzFeed article I came across. They were talking about actors who portrayed villains, but they've done it so well that people hate them in real life. And there was a list. We had talked about Joffrey. Always comes up. In our last episode, we talked about some of our favorite movie intros, and you guys mentioned Gladiator and
Mhm.
Joaquin Phoenix as Caesar is one of the ones that come up. People hate him so much because he did so well in that. And the other one was Christopher Waltz in Inglourious Bastards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's another one.
Although I kind of like him though. I never saw him as a bad guy, even though he was a bad person.
Nazi. Even though he was a Nazi.
Exactly.
He's a likable Nazi.
Yeah. Well, he
wasn't
is,
likable.
though.
He wasn't likable.
He was very charming as far as Nazis go.
But the great thing about Quentin Tarantino is, so he's charming and Christopher Waltz captures all that. But he also shows like his big character flaws, like where he'll do, and he's a piece of shit no matter what.
Yeah.
So at the end, he'll sell out his own people because he's really only about himself, and the fact they captures that.
The crazy thing about that was that Christoph Waltz at the time was pretty like not that well known, at least not here, but in wherever he's from, Austria or whatever. He was a TV actor, and Tarantino really just wanted to find someone that could actually speak the languages, so they didn't have to dub it, and they can be more natural. And he could speak like ridiculous amount of
13
languages. Yeah. So that was like probably like the main reason, but turned out that he was a freakishly amazing actor. Yeah. And I mean, that's not the only one he did with him, right? He did Django.
He did Django.
Like I'm saying, so Django, he's versatile. So is Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, not Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. So they're great actors, and so the other one is you guys got to check out The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Actually, let me write that.
So I love it. One of the favorite things. One of my favorite things out there as far as series. It captures a lot. There's a lot of violence though, and pretty graphic, but it's very well acted. And so one of the lead characters is like a Superman character, but he's such a dick and he's so smug and such. So people like will see him and curse him out, like in real life. And so that's what I want to talk about fans being unable to separate reality from fiction, because there's two recent events that came to mind, and this is why I thought about this. We talked about my beat, the Ono beat, Capone, and how it's gone viral. So Capone is one part of Capone and Noriega, which is a popular rap group, but they have a lot of street cred. And so with this song, with this beat going viral and being on TikTok, then I had saw a comment that Capone had posted in one of the TikToks with the beat, and he was talking about how he was going viral. And I just happened to read the comments, and like one of the comments was like this dude like was like, "No, Pone, you ain't got to do that. You from the streets. You don't need TikTok. What you doing, man?" Like was like mad at him for like he chose to side with TikTok to become famous, and so he's like trying to lecture him like
he's not gonna take all this money being made by his music.
Yeah. So you don't need this. You from the street. You already got the cred. You don't need TikTok. And then I thought about another post. Method Man had put a thing on Instagram, and it was a screenshot of a message that somebody sent him, and it was because Method Man's on Power 2, I guess that's what it's called, and he plays whatever he plays a lawyer actually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But so apparently on the show, and spoiler alert, he sells out the main character or does something. He starts getting hate mail in real life, and
Method Man does.
Yeah, Method Man. The guy like sent him a message like saying, "You a punk." And it's like, "I always fucking hated you. You were always the worst one in Wu-Tang, and like I knew you would do something like this." And
look at like, here, Mr. Man.
It's a movie, but so my point is that
plus we all know who's the worst one in the Wu-Tang Clan.
You gonna say it?
They are not. They are.
Anyway.
How about this? Comment who you think is the worst Wu-Tang member in the comments. Let us know. We'll talk about it.
We all know who it is. We all know who it is.
Y'all,
anyway,
that's fucked up.
Yeah, so people unable to. There are people that are unable to separate the fiction from the reality. I don't know if you ever met someone where they watch a movie or something and think it's like, without it, even the movie being prefaced as, this is a true story. Like the characters in the movie are real. And
why do you think that is?
I think it's part of it is because of just the portrayal. Maybe it hits so close to home, like when something's so well done and something that someone can relate to. So then they're like, "Yeah, this is me. This is real life," or this is, I don't know, or they're just fucking stupid.
Well, it could also be like it was a moment in their lives where it affected them, or it was something, that it was something in film, something that happened in their lives that came to film. And they were like, "Wow, that was me," or "I felt something there." And like, for instance, you ever see the movie Ghost?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I hate his friend, the guy who sets him up.
The guy from,
anything
with the
he
sweaty
does,
upper lip.
Anything he does, I hate him.
What was that? He was on that show with Kerry Washington.
Right? Yeah, Kerry. But anything
he's
he
like,
does,
fuck her too.
No, Carrie, I love you, girl. Yeah. But anything he does, I automatically like, I don't even want to watch this movie anymore. I don't want to watch it. Yeah. There's some actors I see their face.
What was that? Like, what was that? The one he was with Ashley Judd too, where he screws her over too.
That's not. Yeah, he always plays the bad guy.
He always screws somebody over. So
yeah.
So, but yeah. So now, if you see the guy in person, are you gonna be like, "Hey, 100%. Fuck you, man"?
Yeah, I mean that's
if you see Joffrey in person, and you'd be like, "You fucking scumbag." Or
during the series, yes, I would have probably said I fucking hate you. But afterwards, the show's over, I would say, "Oh man, good job."
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, I think it would be if I'm Joffrey or if I'm playing a character.
Yeah.
But let's say if you're playing a character, like let's say you use Joffrey, and during the season, I would take that as like a badge of honor. If someone was like, "Fuck you, man, I hate you," and I'd be like, okay, that means whatever I've done is so,
right.
It's so memorable that you would curse me out.
Or it could be that your what do you call that? Actors or whatever did such a good job, and it's them that they really love, and you're just fucking shit up for them. You know what I mean? Like maybe somebody's like obsessed with I don't know, Cersei or something. You know what I mean? And they really like love her, and then somebody does something to her. It's like fuck that guy.
That's
like,
probably the case with Method Man thing with
yeah.
the main character.
Yeah, you have to see. Method Man plays like a sly like lawyer, like fancy lawyer guy.
Is he any
so
good?
he's always like sweet talking. What?
Is he any good?
Yeah, I mean, there's range for me in terms of seeing Method Man when he first started acting. To let's say how high to where he is.
Yeah. Copland.
Yeah, but also, did you see? There's a bounty hunter show with 2 white girls. On Netflix.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's actually really, really, I'm shockingly really good. And they got Kadeem Hardison from
Different World.
White Man Can't Jump Different World. Yep.
Oh.
And so, White Man Can't. If you forget, he's in there. He's like, going to see his love.
That's right.
A lot of people remember that. And Vampire in Brooklyn. He was also in that as well. Shout out to Kadeem Hardison. But he is very big in that. You don't even recognize Kadeem. He is eating.
He's a big brother. Big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So there's actually, you can Google him for that. He's like, yeah, he went through some stuff. So he was dealing with that. But the acting chops are there. And so he's a bounty hunter, runs into these 2 young white girls, and they want to get into bounty hunting because they have to pay some bill off, whatever. And the Method Man's like what's the white dude, the dog guy, the bounty hunter,
Dog, the bounty hunter.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Dog, the bounty hunter.
That's his name?
The bounty hunter's name? Who's the dog?
The dog guy? Guy the dog? That bounty hunter. But he's basically like the black version of Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he comes, but he's
D-A-W-G.
Yeah, he's like, see, D-A-W-G versus D-O-G or D-O-G-G. Yeah, so anyway, he's like jacked in the, because he be working out now.
So he's big like Jack big. I thought you meant like he let it go. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's very similar though. His acting.
Kadeem Harrison let it go.
Hardison.
Yeah,
Kadeem
Hardison.
Okay.
Hardison.
Yeah. It's like the dog.
No, Method Man is
Jack. Method Man. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
You follow him on Instagram. He's always working out. Crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway.
Yes, I just think that it's interesting that people still are unable to, separate art from reality. And
I get it though. I mean, when you, like Rose said, if you're a fan of a show or a character and you're really like, it's like Batman or something, and then fucking Joaquin Phoenix comes around and does his thing. It's like, fuck that guy. Like, that's, even though he wasn't Batman yet. But are they doing a second one for that?
No, I think they're skipping. They might do Joker thing, but remember Pattinson's going to be the new Batman.
The Joker.
That's right.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to merge those together. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. It was by itself.
I don't know why they can't do that whole franchise just the right way. How many Batmans do we need? Spider-Man, they finally got it right. Although I love Tobey Maguire, then it became silly with the last one they did with Toby, and then the guy
I didn't like the third one. So and then I like the other guy,
the new kid. Yeah, I like him. He's they nailed it. The cast, his sidekick, like all of them, they do it well. I'm like, I don't understand why they can't figure out. Like, I guess, can you let Batman die? I guess not, right? Because we got the Val Kilmer. You got what's his name? Was the original?
Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney.
Yeah, and so, but then Christian Bale knocked it out of the park, right? Mm-hmm. Even though when we first saw it, we're like, "What is he doing like that?"
Yeah, it was a little silly, but it worked.
It made so much sense because, like, if you talk like Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne,
New York.
So
how
you have to talk like that?
Yeah, and so I even let what's his name get away with it from Boston when they did the reboot.
Yeah, it grew on me. Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Ben Affleck. So I'll even let Ben Affleck. I took it because he did like a Rocky version of it. Like he just remember he was like bulking up and working out,
jacked up for.
So we had like a big like old school like I just throw shit around Batman. I was like, okay, I can take that. And then now I'm just like, can we move forward though with stories, right? Because at least with the earlier Batmans, even how cheesy they were, at least they moved on to different characters, right? Yeah, the Joker.
Right.
You had the
The whole
Riddler,
Riddler,
the
yeah.
Penguin. You had
Right.
all this. Now it's like we can't move. You had Ice
They
Guy.
just
You know,
keep
you
going to the
we
same
just don't
people.
know. Same
Right.
shit over again. Same shit
Yeah.
over again. Like, just figure it out.
Yeah.
It has to
There's so
go
many
to
characters in
with the whole,
DC. There's so many characters in DC.
And that's the problem. DC and Marvel, like Marvel, you know, they got it. They were like, no, we'll link everything. We'll take from
Mhm.
this whole, and you know, they had a game plan. And DC, when they tried to do that, everything else was such a miss. Then it's like, go back to Batman. Go back to Batman. Let's
Yeah.
just do Batman.
Yeah. I think we just need a break from it for a while.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
just needs to.
Nice, right?
Batman needs to be forgotten. You
Yeah.
know, and then someone, I'd say maybe 15, 20 years from now, I'm willing to wait that long.
Yeah.
I'll be an old man
Yeah,
going to see it.
right.
Like,
Let Mike.
That's funny.
You know,
Christian
you might have a
Bale's
point.
dead, and then you can come out with Batman again.
There you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like I said earlier, like people do take things very seriously when they see it on the screen. But I think because also they make things so real nowadays, right? The storyline, whether it be action or not, it's just the characters are very deep.
Mhm.
Whereas I don't think we had characters in the past, as you know, not as many stories had deep characters. But I think in character development, they're doing deep dive into these characters, so you feel like that's a family member, or that's you know that's one of your boys or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
But-
like no, got it.
But you hit it right on the head. Here's the other thing. Like back in the 50s, 60s, you know, you had the big screen, you had and then TV, and then that was it. Now it's so much more where you can immerse yourself. It's interactive. You can go online and read about this, and you can read backstories, and you can see, you know, so much more of the story or whatever it is you're watching, where you can, yeah. Then I think, you know, you feel a part of it,
Yeah.
maybe.
And I think you know what gets lost, movies, TV, all that stuff, it's a huge business, right? I mean, tons of money is made from it, and I think people forget at the core of it what it is. It's art, and it's stuff that people create that really affects people. You know, think of like, for me, I think of G.I. Joe, the movie, when they killed I can't think of his name right now. Duke. Right. Yeah. Is it Duke? Well, either way, it was the first. Huh?
You watched the movie?
or Duke?
I don't know.
It was a long time
You
ago.
watched it
But
off
he-
of
he-
movie?
I'm trying.
You mean the cartoon
Oh, yeah, the
version
car-
or
the
the
cartoon.
movie.
I'm talking about the cartoon.
Okay,
the
I thought
cartoon.
you
They
were
killed
talking about
Duke.
the
They
remake.
killed Duke.
Yeah,
Right,
they
right,
killed
right.
Duke.
Right. And that was
I
the
thought you were
first
talking
time.
about the remake. I'm like,
no. I'm talking about the
where's he
cartoon.
going with this?
The cartoon G.I. Joe movie. But think about how you
Yes.
felt. You know, you
Yeah.
felt like even at that age, you know it's a cartoon. You know it's not real, but you know you have so much invested in these guys, and then you have the toys, and you're creating your own scenarios
Yeah.
with them, and then that happens. You know, you're crushed, and that doesn't change when you get older. It's just you're more passionate.
Well,
about
here's the
different
other
things.
thing. And every G.I. Joe show and all that, they never died. They got hit
Right.
with laser bullets and nothing happened. So,
No one ever
so
died.
for somebody that died, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's right. Those are the first lasers.
Yeah. Who used the wrong gun, bro? What'd you do?
And
Yeah.
do you remember like the random messages? I like, I know the ones at the end. You know, that's knowing is half the battle.
No one's half the battle.
But like, I watched a episode of Thundercats, and there's like a part where he looks at the screen, and he's like, "That's why you have to make sure you like." He gave some fucking like tip, and I was like, I don't remember this at all. Like I
Remember
don't.
Dare and all that? Don't do
Oh, Dare,
drugs
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that. So they always used to mix in like messages like that.
I still am upset that they have not made a Thundercat movie.
Yeah. But
Like
see,
that's
I'm scared that they're gonna do
They
like
would fuck
Cats.
that up. Yeah,
You know what
I
I
just
mean?
say
They're gonna
that.
have
I-
Idris Elba in a like
put that
really
on for
awkward
5 minutes the
costume.
other night. I put on for 5 minutes the other night. I was like, wow.
Was it
And
that
I've seen
bad?
some musicals before, and I was like, this is God. I mean, I gave it like 2 songs, and then I'm watching it, and then Idris came in. I was like, oh, play it. And I was like, ah, this is a wrap.
But here's the other thing on
They should have got Terry
May-
Crews for that.
I think it's Hulu. Hulu has they have Thundercats, and they had Thundercats the movie. So
really?
we go to watch it and watch the first episode, and I was telling my kids like, "Oh, this cartoon was so good." And then we watched it. I'm like, 5 minutes in, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is awful." I was like, "We fucking watched this shit." Like, I mean,
What they say? Did they like it or not?
my kids then they walked out. They were like they gave me the look like, really?
I'll still
Yeah.
watch it. I don't care. I even watched the
I do.
old.
Go back and watch it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, this is
Yeah.
fucking awful."
You wonder
Really?
what the hell.
Yeah. I was like, wow. I
So
thought this
much
was
about
great.
things that are like nostalgic. I was right. Where you go, I've done that before. I watched like I watched a Silverhawk cartoon like episode, and I was like, this is fucking terrible. The best thing about it was the song.
Yeah.
Like that's
Do you guys remember Bionic 6?
Bionic.
Yes, that was
So
great.
I got a story about that. Just because.
Yeah. So, but Bionic
That was
6
real metal. The
I was
toys
just
were
about to
real
get the
fucking metal.
die-cast metal fucking, and I remember
I hit my sister.
I hit my brother with it, and it's like a hospital trip. It's fucking die-cast metal. It was, made with like fucking lead paint on it, like you would.
Yeah, that chipped.
Yeah,
because no one had a fully painted figure. Like,
and Bionic 6 was like, if you were watching that, you stayed home from school because it always came on like 8:30, right when you were supposed to be
You were definitely
leaving
going to school that day.
That's
You were
what-
So
definitely
that was a sick day watching Bionic 6.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
I
Those things hurt.
Yeah.
I busted my nose playing Bionic 6. Right. So we had this like little playground in front of my building, and it had slides and all the shit on it. And there was a slide, and then next to it was like, those monkey bars that are a dome. Right.
Yeah.
It's just one big ass something.
The
So
sphere?
it was one of those.
Sphere?
Right. So what we would do is we would jump from the slide onto the sphere. Right. Like crazy. We were nuts when we were kids. So I forgot who, I don't remember the characters, but we were all different characters in the family, right? And we had our whole scenario, everything we're doing, and it was so cool in my head what I was doing. Like I was just gonna run up, jump on the thing, jump onto, and then escape. So I jumped, and all four limbs just went through. Boom, right? Like I landed with my face. So, but the
You
thing was,
made it through the hole
through the hole, all four just,
like a cat in the air, like
and like I like bounced off. So surprisingly, as kids, you're resilient, right? So I felt okay. It wasn't till one of my friends was like, "Oh, you're bleeding from your nose." It was like, "Ah!" Right? So I started crying. I go upstairs, and my dad's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, I jumped off the slide onto the monkey bars and I slipped and I hit my nose. He's like, "Bullshit. Who punched you?" And I'm like, "Nobody." So now my dad is trying to drag me outside so he could beat up whatever kid just punched me or have me fight them. And it's just like, no, I really am that stupid. I jumped from the slide and missed. Yeah, but that was my Bionic.
Reminds me of another story. My brother. So I was in kindergarten. I was going to PS14, and so my brother must have been like 4 or 5, whatever. I forget whatever age you're at. I'm in kindergarten, so he's a year younger than me, and my mom and him come to pick me up, and I guess she lost track of him, and he's waiting for me to come out, and then. So I come out of school and I see my mom, and then she's looking for my brother. She finds my brother, and he's bleeding, like from his hand. She's like, "What happened?" So I guess he fucking panicked, and he's like, somebody threw a bottle at me, like in his fucking 4-year-old speak or 5-year-old speak, whatever. And my mom like fucking flips out. So she's like, "Who?" Like. My mom, to this day, like when you tell her, like there's stories I remember, and she was like gangster, like she would fucking have the whole neighborhood shook. And she's a little, 5'3" Spanish woman, but she's like, who did this? And it's like he just points out randomly to some kid on a bus, like figuring, okay, well that bus is leaving, and let me get out of this mess I just fucking created for no reason. And so he points to some kid on the bus, and she fucking goes and stops the bus and they take the fucking kid off the bus and all this. He's like, hey, throw a fucking bottle at my son or whatever, you know. I'm paraphrasing. Like, so it's a big thing. All the fucking teachers are involved and all that. And
That's great.
she was like to my brother, like, is this him? He the one? And then he like finally was like, oh shit. Like, no, that's not him. Poor kid got pulled off the bus. The bus had to leave and he missed his bus. Fucked his whole life up. And then, you know, my brother finally admits that he was like playing around a tree and fell and fucking.
We should do an episode and find out what happened to that kid.
I know. I probably set him on a fucking life of crime or whatever.
It's so funny the things you do as a kid and make it worse.
Right.
Because you're scared that you're gonna get in trouble. So you think you're doing something to make it better, and then it's just like that. He's just like him, and thinking, all right, that'll be the end of it. Like I remember one time, and I was playing outside with my friends, and I don't know, somebody found a pack of matches, right? And so we start, of course, lighting shit up. We were like 7, 8 years old. We start lighting things on fire, and he lights like newspaper or whatever, and then he throws it on the grass. We're on the side of the building. This is in the projects too, like little badass project kids running around burning shit up. And he throws it on the floor, and some of the grass starts. It was summertime, so some of the grass is like a little dry, and it starts catching fire. So I panicked. I was like, oh shit, and I grabbed it and I picked it up and I threw it in the garbage. So now the garbage goes up in flames. Now they call the fire department. But now the thing is, we were like, fuck it. It set on fire. We walked away like, oh shit, we didn't do that. But now they call the fire department. Somebody called. They show up. So now I'm really scared because I'm like, fuck. I had a guilty look. I felt like everybody knew when I did something wrong. So I start going home and I'm walking fast and I see my mom's friend. And my mom's like best friend. This is like my second mom, this lady. And she goes, where are you going? I was like, upstairs. And she's looking at me. It's like 11:30, 12, middle of the day in the summer. Like, why are you going home? So she's like, what'd you do? It's like, nothing. She's like, what'd you do? And I was like, nothing. So I ran upstairs. And she goes and sees all the commotion. And she goes, comes upstairs and tells my mom, she's like, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure this little motherfucker, because she talks like Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, she's like, I'm pretty sure this little motherfucker set that fire on his. I got in trouble for it. I thought I was scot-free, and there was no proof. Fire department never came to the house, but I still got in trouble for that shit. Karma was like, nah, you little fucker, you're gonna.
You gotta work and you're guilty for it.
Nah, I can't. I'm the worst. I can't lie.
My mom's from the
That's
South.
what I do when I lie.
You get one beat. You don't do that anymore.
What's that?
Like my mom's from the South, like Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we had a whole bunch of bushes in the backyard. So you get switches.
Oh,
Yeah,
and she
I was
just
gonna ask. You guys
tear you up.
Yeah, no.
So I never got into trouble outside of school, but just like my grades in school, that was it. I didn't really do anything crazy like that. Well,
I mean,
my mother had a leather strap that was like passed down from her mother.
Yep.
So it was weird. Like she literally kept it in the closet. I don't know what it was. It looked like maybe like one of those old school things that you would sharpen barber shears with. It was just hanging there. Yeah. She beat you once with that. Yeah. She beat you once with that, and then all she had to do was like point to the closet and be like,
yep.
Let me ask you a question.
To the closet.
Is it? So I knew girls that I grew up with where their dad like hit them, but in terms of when they would hit you, as you know, like the way they would hit us, like guys, because they did something bad, like just spank them for that. So is that? And I thought about that. I was like, and as I get older, I was like, it was just a different time, but I was like, oh, that's messed up. You can't hit your daughter. But I'm sure I was like.
Depends on what age, like I guess if she's, I guess once they go through puberty, like you can't, you know.
Okay, so there is
lay
an age.
off. I think there's an age.
Yeah.
So what would you say, 8 to 11?
Yeah, maybe even at 8, I would lay off the.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
well,
funny.
I mean, if you're doing it correctly, like I said, you should. if you're doing it correctly, but you should only have to do it
doing
once.
it correctly?
Like I say, you should do it once, and then that's it. You never have to hit your kids again. It should be the thread of it. So if you
So one good hit,
one good, get a good one in there, make it memorable. And
Just give them 5 across the eyes.
you won't learn.
They won't forget.
So you're
that.
saying between 5 and 8 is when you should hit your child, so that they know better when they get old.
I say go lower.
What, on the body or age?
Age. I say 2 to 8. Terrible 2s, man. That's something else.
And where do you hit the baby?
Well,
like
because they
Square
had
in the
diapers.
face.
No.
No, I'm just
Punch him
joking.
like a man.
We don't condone punching babies.
Punch a baby like a man.
Oh well,
Babies got diapers, so I don't know. Maybe.
So it's all right.
But my kid would do something like you give them a smack in the head, they don't even feel it. But it's the reaction.
It's the fact that
let's do some Full Metal Jacket stuff, right? Get the bars of soap. Let's have some fun.
Real.
I had this. Oddly enough, we had this conversation at work. Me and one of my coworkers, and he was telling me how. So he's got a boy and a girl, and he does all the disciplining for his son, and they're little. They're little. I mean, his son is like 5, 6, 6, whatever. First grade is actually. So I think he's a little older, 7 maybe, whatever. But his daughter's like 3 or 4, and he's saying like when it comes to he admits that his daughter has him wrapped around her little finger. Like even when she's being bad, he can't bring himself to scold her. He finds it funny. So he tells his wife, like, look, you're going to have to handle that. And as far as spanking goes, he's like, he doesn't want to put hands on her because he doesn't want her to feel that it's all right for a man to put his hands on her. So he's like, he tells his wife, you handle that. I'll take care of the boy. And I never really tripped off of it until he said that.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at. Yeah,
you don't think about that because, like Ev was saying, there was a different time back in the days. But yeah, we don't know the effect that has on women.
100%.
Even subconsciously, they may not even realize that they think it's okay to let a man put his hands on.
I remember my friend would tell me, I was like, I wish your dad would grab you up. I take your dad out. And I'm like, I have no business of taking any parent out. I'm 11 years old. I'm not gonna. That's probably not going to happen.
My concern with like that, or in general, is it going to create some kind of division between the parents? Like, so now is she going to resent mom because mom is now the disciplinarian, and
right?
What you do on a child has lasting effects for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. And I'm a firm believer of a lot of the problems we have in the world today with, start at those impressionable ages. Like the brain is a sponge at that age, and it's just soaking up everything, good and bad. So
yeah.
I think you just lay on your child. You put all the weight of your body on your child for 5 seconds, and then you just say, okay, that's what you're going to get. Yeah. All right, you active again. I'm just going to lay dead fish all over you, and that's it.
That's what you call it. Dead. Like, don't go boneless. Don't go boneless on me.
That's it. And then you're like, no, get off. Yep. And to the point where they cry. Yeah. That's what you do.
Actually, no, you know what? Don't do that, because that is why I'm claustrophobic, because my brother used to do that to me in the living room. Yeah, I kid you not. Yeah. He would fuck around. He would lay on top of me, sometimes with a pillow, not over my face, never over the face, but enough for you to fucking freak out. And I kid, till this day, I can't be in small enclosed. One of my biggest fears is to be buried alive. So I moved to the fucking earthquake capital of the world. But
smart.
Yeah, and I blame his ass for the lean.
It's funny. I'm the oldest, and I used to do that to my siblings. Part of it was like, because I got older, like I didn't really want to play with them, so I was like, yeah, we were like, go play with your brother, or go play with your sister.
Okay.
Like, all right, let's play dead body. I just fucking lay on them, and I'm basically taking a nap.
Let's play dead body.
I'm taking a nap. I'm just gonna fucking crush you.
Then you wake up in a garbage bag buried.
Yeah, I gotta apologize to my sister. I used to play wrestling when she would play church, and so we both had rooms in the attic. Right, her room was to the right. She had a door, and I was in the other part of the attic. And so Sundays, wrestling would come on 11 or 12. Mm-hmm. And, after cartoons, you had wrestling on. I think it was at 12. And so I watched wrestling, boom. And then any new move I saw, she'd be like, she'd be singing church, yes, Jesus loves me. And have all the Cabbage Patch Kid dolls and places and other dolls and Barbies. I'm like, and all of a sudden, Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes in.
Off the top ropes.
Off the top ropes.
DDT. Everybody did DDT.
Yeah, DDT.
She's like, but why? I'm just playing church.
He's got her hemmed up from behind. Like, stop, bro.
I was like, boom, shakalaka. So I apologize to you, Lizzie. I apologize. She tried to kill me later in life, though, so I think we're even.
I mean,
you can tell crazy stories for all day long.
You Macho Randy Savage her sermon. What do you expect?
Wrestling had a big effect on, I know you guys, but probably the same me. Like, that was a big deal, wrestling, and like you knew it was fake. 100% you knew it was fake.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
I know I did.
But in all fairness, I was still really young. Probably by the time you realized it was fake.
So I realized it was fake, like I had went to a my first wrestling match in person I went to, and like I knew it was fake, but it didn't matter. And I'll never forget do you guys remember the Road Warriors?
Yeah.
And, which one of them passed away? Rest in peace. But I think it was Animal and Hawk. That was the name.
Wow.
They were the coolest. Big guys with paint on their faces and all that. Yeah. And I saw a match live, and they were fighting the Russians. One of them was Nikita, whatever. So he like bit the top of the guy's head and he spit blood out. And I was like, oh, that's fucking great. You know, we knew it was fake, but we were like, I was like, you can't fake that. He fucking did it.
Exactly. Because every time you thought it could be fake, then they're like, well, can't be. You can't jump from that high.
You know what? And back to what we were talking about before, I mean, people that are fanatics that can't separate, real from fake. Wrestling fans, dude, they're seeing this in person. They're flying off the ropes, back flipping and all this. You can't tell those people that that's not real.
Right.
Yeah,
because it is real. It's just
it's just
once
rigged.
they get behind the curtain, they're like, "Hey, good job, Timothy."
Like, who's gonna win tonight? Okay, that's how we're gonna do it. Yeah, I was into wrestling for like maybe like 2-3 years tops. Around the time I guess the good old days, the Macho Man, Junkyard Dog days when they had the stretchy toys. But
we had the best toys.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, those rubber wrestling, again, will weigh about 5 pounds each one.
The whole thing was rubber except for like the head was like they had two. They had the full rubber ones, and then they had the plastic ones.
It was like solid rubber though.
Yeah. Or when it snaps back, like you're trying to stretch it as far as like.
You could definitely get hurt with the toys back then. They were definitely they weren't safe. I don't care what anybody says. 4 to 6, 8 to 12. No.
No.
The great 20-year-old toys.
That stuff that shot at you like actual projectiles that fucking poke your eye out.
What was that? Yeah. Voltron and Transformers. Those things, die-cast metal. Like Voltron, I don't know what die-cast metal is, but that's what those toys were made.
You know how upset I was? So I got the what was the guy who can play the recorder?
Oh, I had that too. Shockwave.
So I had Shockwave, and then you had the dog and you had the hawk, right? Yeah. So I put it in there.
You lose. I lost the fucking dog. Someone would steal it.
I pushed the buttons and I was talking into it. And I was like, he's not Soundwave. He's not taking the. I was destroyed. I didn't know. I thought that would at least work with the toy.
Yeah,
that part, because I put the cassette together and then I just put it in, and then it didn't. And I stopped playing for toys for a whole hour.
Fast forward to now.
Life.
Like, do you know how hard that would have been to make an actual cassette tape that recorded?
I mean, hello.
They still can't do it.
2020, they'll definitely know how to do it. No. But that crushed me. I'll never forget that. I was like, oh man.
We
Guys,
really did have the best
I gotta
toys.
take a pee break, so keep talking about
Yeah,
toys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Drinking Bud Light. Nice shot, buddy.
That's fine. You didn't have to go.
Yeah, you could just.
I've been using a Gatorade bottle for the last hour.
I mean, you just don't want to mix it up. You know, like
Your
what
bottles.
flavor Gatorade is on the bottle. Like you don't want to.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
like don't do that with apple juice.
No, back in college days, you have to be very, very careful.
See,
Because sometimes the bathroom, I went to school upstate before I went to Wagner, and roommates. So it was called Campus Meadows, and so
Okay.
you had 4 roommates, 2 in each room, and then we only had 1 bathroom. So sometimes you had a jug just in case, you know,
Yeah.
motherfuckers are like in the fucking bathroom forever. And that on a hungover night, and then the next day you're like, do we have a juice? I'm thirsty.
I don't.
Oh yeah. Ooh, it's cool too. It's been sitting out.
That's so fizzy.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. The worst part was these mofos, they would get you all the time. So my second year, no one had respect for ice cream.
Uh-huh.
So if you didn't eat your ice cream that you left in the freezer, it was going to be gone.
Okay.
Like no one respected your shit.
Uh-huh.
So what they would do is fill the container back up with water and then freeze it. So you go there, you're like, oh shit, I can't wait to get back. I had a long day out after class, was gonna eat some ice cream and chill. You're like, oh, it's full. Yeah, I can't wait. And then it's clear. You're like, you motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
That
And
is
I love
one of
ice
the
cream.
worst
That's like my favorite.
pranks of all time.
You know what happened to me once? I was about 15 years old, and my brother got in his first apartment, and I went to stay with him for like a week or 2 in the summer or whatever. So he was still working, and that morning he's like, "Hey, bro, there's orange juice in the fridge. There's this, whatever. Help yourself." I was like, "All right, cool." I wake up, he's gone. I'm like, open up the fridge, and I open up the freezer, and I see orange juice. A carton of orange juice, and I was like, "Oh, perfect." I'm like, "Why do you leave it in the freezer?" But whatever. I shook it. I was like, "Ooh, slushy. It's perfect." Grabbed that.
That's a good OJ. You get a little slushy.
Oh, I was so excited. I made myself a sandwich, like ham and cheese, cold cuts. Pour myself a nice tall glass of. Oh man, this is gonna be good. I took a big ass gulp, and there was fucking vodka in it. He made, had a pre-made vodka and orange juice in the freezer. And mind you, I wasn't drinking at that. I had tried, alcohol, but I definitely was
But you
not
weren't like a drinker per se.
I was not a drinker. I had tasted like my dad's beer or something like that. Like it was too late because I had ingested it, so it was like, and then it was slushy on top of the fact that it was Absolute. So it was like
Absolute OJ. OJ. That's an old throwback.
Like it was just frozen breath came out of my chest, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And he laughed his ass off when he got home because I was so mad.
Like, how's that OJ?
You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn today. Do you guys remember your first time getting drunk?
Oh yeah.
I think so.
18th birthday. I had 16th birthday. I had a Billy D Colt 45, but I had the 64 ounce.
Oh wow!
I finished it in VIM Victory Motor Inn parking lot, and they had to throw me on my mom on the stairs because I got so drunk. I finished a whole 64 ounce, which I don't think anybody could do that nowadays. It's disgusting. It's the worst thing. But I was like, yo, I'm gonna be cool, just like Billy D, and do it right. And I vomited everywhere, and I will never forget that night. 16 years old. Yeah.
That's a good one. I think it was about the same. Do you remember yours, Ev?
Yeah, I started later in life. I was 18 or 19. And I used to pretend in high school like I was the class drunk and all that. So I was like, I wasn't touching anything.
I drink bourbon every day when I go home.
I was like, hell no. But I went to Denver, Colorado. That was the first place I got drunk. And it was with a church group. We went to see the Pope.
At Jesus juice.
Pope was there. Yeah, it was the first time I met.
Bless you. He was like, ooh.
This ain't water. What you want to You did it again, you. No, but it was funny because like one of the kids I went to school with, an Irish kid, ended up being a cop. Figures, but he was a drunk already, so
Billy O'Lafferty. No.
So we got it was Bacardi rum. And it was one of those small, the small bottles like that. Yeah, that was my first. The brown one too. It wasn't the clear stuff.
Oh,
Wasn't it clear one either?
Bacardi Gold.
Ooh,
Bacardi Gold.
That's gonna be in your chest for a minute.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's as an adult now. That's great. It's smooth as shit. But for
back then,
your first time.
First time, so I was drinking it with soda, and I was like, "Oh, this is great! I can do this." I just got like, and then like got buzzed, and then drunk. Was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And they had a pool in the hotel. I was like, "All right, I got to stop this." So I jumped in the pool. I was like, "This will wash away my drunkenness." I was like, "Ah, great!" While I'm in the pool floating, I'm like, "Oh, this is good." Got out and it fucking like hit me 10 times hard. I was like, "Oh my god!"
You just delayed it. You put it on pause.
Why did I do this?
My first time getting drunk, I think I was 17. It was my cousin Deborah's graduation. You guys have met my cousins before, Deborah, Jess, and my aunt Chato. So it was after Deborah. It was just the four of us, right? Was that right? Four, yeah. After the graduation, we went to City Island, and we went to Sammy's. I believe it is right. That's the one all the way at the end. That's coincidentally enough, Bronx Tale, where his dad is quizzing him about the Yankees stats. That's where we were, and
last stop.
Yeah, last stop. And so none of us were of age, but they didn't really seem to care. My aunt was just going up buying all the rounds, and we were drinking strawberry daiquiris and pina coladas, and they tasted like candy. All right, so we're pounding. Like I think I got like, I don't know, we got one or the other, and then we just started halfway through after like the second one. We just started switching. Like, all right, well, let me try this one. You try this one. We got, needless to say, we got fucked up. But I was good. I was drunk off my ass. I shouldn't say that. No, I wasn't good. I just wasn't yakking. My cousin, on the other hand, so we call Jess's boyfriend. He comes, picks us up, and he's got like this little 2-seater, like fucking beater hoopty. I'm in the front, and the three of them are in the back, and we're somewhere in the Bronx. I'm going home, and it was like a Wayne's World, like the fucking Bohemian Rhapsody, the Let Me Go. Like she's in she's in the back, and she's got a yak, like she's got to fucking go. So he's just like, he's like a super car guy. He's like, just wait till I get to the exit. Wait, and she can't. She's not waiting. So he pulls over on the side of the highway. I'm fucking drunk, so I don't know how to open his door, and I'm laughing my ass off because it's the funniest shit in the world to me. Finally, we get out of the car. I get out of the car, and she's barely halfway out of the car before she just starts yakking. And this was before cell phones, or maybe about 96, 97, somewhere around there. And did you guys freeze? No.
That was fucking freaky.
You both were still.
So sorry, I'm looking.
For the longest time.
Check. I don't know what I did. I stopped recording.
That's
just
hilarious.
See where I left off.
That was freaky. You literally both were like this. But yeah, anyway, so she yacked, and we have pictures of me smiling and cheesing while she's throwing up outside the door for graduation. You okay, Ro?
We live?
Yeah, we're still going.
Oh.
Yeah, fucking it up. When you send me this, you're gonna have to send me my audio too.
Yeah, I gotta take
a
a pee break, so keep talking about toys. I'll be right back.
Okay, sorry. That's weird. It's like Inception.
No, so my pee break, it stopped, and I purposely didn't stop it. I was like, I'm gonna keep it running.
Your pee? You can keep it running, or
My pee break. No, I keep the recording going. Fuck that up.
So,
that's all right.
Two,
you
one.
ever, Joe? You were talking about pina coladas,
Yeah.
and so the other day I'm going to work, and I sometimes I want to put myself in a weird kind of chill mood. I listen to Yacht Week.
What's that?
Yeah. Oh, it's on Pandora. Just put Yacht Week in, change your
Okay.
life.
Oh, it's a playlist.
Yeah, play. It's very white. It's very white. So pina colada comes on. Do you like pina colada? And so I've never
Jimmy
listened
Buffett.
to the words before in my life until that day, and I was like, wait, what?
Interesting, isn't it?
Does anybody know what this song is really about?
Go ahead. I'll let you.
He sees an ad for this lady that likes pina coladas and stuff like that getting caught in the rain, and so he applies to the ad. Now the story goes on. He's writing back to her, back and forth. Comes to find out later that it's his wife that the whole time. So he was going to cheat on her, but then winds up finding out that it's his wife who's, I guess, been cheating on him because she put the ad out there. And then they run into each other like, oh, I didn't know you liked this. Neither did I. Okay, and now we're cool.
And
I'm
now
like,
we're in love. Yeah.
what? And I never knew that as a kid. I never knew that till like a month ago. I just
Same here. I said Michelle put me onto it. I was like, "What? Really? That's what the fucking song's about?"
I was like,
there's a lot of songs out
Still a
there
great
people
song.
don't know the meaning to. That like the turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
that's just racist as fuck.
It's not only is it racist, it's pretty vulgar.
Yeah.
Or
It's got every little bit of everything.
or the '80s hit "Come On Eileen."
Yeah,
Is that no? Is that really what?
not
Yes, yes,
No.
100%.
You're so
Never
wrong. Come on,
Come
no,
on,
no.
come on, Eileen. You know what I mean. Listen
No.
to the fucking
Hold on.
lyrics. Yes, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking disgusting.
You're lying.
100%.
Okay,
Listen
come
to the
on, Eileen.
lyrics.
Hold on, come on, Eileen. Song meaning of come on, Eileen. Here we go.
It's about coming on a girl with one leg.
Come on, Eileen.
Oh man.
Oh well, yeah, she's blossoming into a woman, and this wow appears during the son's dedicated his attempts to really get intimate with her. However, he does not perceive this as an act of lust. Rather, he believes that his love for her will endure forever.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Hold
Come
on.
Made me like that song a little more. That's
Come on,
Keeps on
Eileen.
convincing
I
him.
swear what
no.
he means at
No,
this
no.
moment, you mean everything. You with
Again,
that dress, my
he's trying
thoughts
to-
second best.
No, but he's trying to sleep
Birds
with her
are dirty. Come on,
versus
Eileen.
actually come on her. No, but he's trying to get her to have sex with him, not so that
so
she
he can come on her.
No, no. He's just trying to get. I can't. Talk.
so it's
Come on, Eileen. You know what I mean.
Oh man, music.
Taste the soup.
Am I right?
You know, babies have diapers.
That's right. They can't feel it.
Learn something. You'll learn something on. That's how you get woke, people.
Yep.
On Woken Up Woke, we learned about Come on, Eileen and Pina Colada.
Oh, speaking of come on, Eileen, Ro, didn't you have a question that you had posed to us?
Yeah, that's a
About
weird
soup.
segue. Yeah. I'll take the clam chowder. Yes. So
Never.
someone had posted this the other day, and now that the weather is getting a little cooler here in New York City, I'm sure the weather is shitty still in San Francisco. But they put pictures of soups, and I was like, ooh. And I always wondered like what's people's favorite soup to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna read down the list. If it's not on the list, let's narrow it down to 3. Let's do that. All right. We're gonna narrow down to 3 top soups. If you had a choice, these are your 3. Choose
I
that you
only
go
do
to.
one soup, and that's it.
All right. So we have tomato soup, chicken noodle soup, French onion soup, clam chowder, New England clam chowder, minestrone, broccoli cheddar, matzo ball soup, wonton soup, lentil soup, pho for all my people out there, lobster bisque, tortilla soup, ramen, or corn soup. A lot of soups there. I'm gonna go just off the top. I'm gonna give you my
top three.
Soup's on.
Okay, so I'm gonna do little categories. Joe, give me your top three out of the soups I just hit.
My top three in no particular order.
No order, no order.
Do you?
Just-
Okay, yeah.
Just give me top three. Just give
my
me three.
top three are French onion,
That's a good one.
lobster bisque,
That's a good one.
and pho.
Okay, all right.
Those are
So talking to the man who doesn't like soup at all.
I don't like any soup except chicken noodle soup. That's it.
Why don't you like any other soup? Have you ever tried?
Yes, I've tried. I don't know. I have this weird thing about
I'm gonna put
because
gazpacho.
it's like a liquid. it's beverages are to be drink.
So you remind me of my manager at work. We had this conversation about ramen, right? And I think ramen over the last few years has been trending all over the damn country, right? He likes ramen, but he doesn't consider it a meal. He's like, it's a snack. Like he can't go out for, if he ate ramen, say they go out to lunch and he eats ramen, he's got to get something else after that because he doesn't consider that. Yeah, and this guy's a beast. He can eat. Like every trip he's ever taken in his life.
Obviously, he thinks ramen's a snack.
Surrounded by food. yeah. No. He did the they have a pho challenge out here. A few places do it where it's just this insanely huge size bowl of fucking noodles and soup. It's like 4 pounds of noodles and meat, and he did it. And you don't fucking win anything but like a t-shirt that says I ate this shit and threw up.
Hey, your asshole's winning later.
Yeah. It's like
How's
the
that- how's your
opposite
butt
of
feel,
slurping
buddy?
the noodles
Yeah.
coming out.
When noodles, strains of noodles, just strains of noodles.
Digested.
But yeah,
Wow,
those are my
okay.
top three. What about you?
Ev, thanks for playing on this one.
Fucking soup.
So here's the problem here. I have 4 soups. I'm gonna do the 3, but I'm gonna give an honorable mention because here's the thing when I'm thinking about soup right now.
Mhm.
French onion is great, but here's the problem with French onion: the layer of cheese. You have to make it. It's never guaranteed, right? How much cheese you get to balance out the French onion. And I like pepper on mine, so if you don't have that good combo, French onion soup could be the worst.
And
But
the
if you have
bread.
a good
And the
combo,
bread that
yeah,
they
that's what I'm
use
saying.
that.
All those things have to matter that you're putting in there. So I'm gonna leave French onion out, but I'll go New England clam chowder, lobster bisque, and tortilla soup. Tortilla soup can sometimes be amazing, like some of the best soups out of there.
Yeah.
Lobster bisque and clam chowder are very creamy. Creamy base. If you're not a big creamy base, tortilla would be the next best thing if you're not a creamy base. I would say at all those soups. But ramen gets some love. Pho gets some love. I had my first pho out in Chicago at this place. It was good.
Damn.
But
I wish I would have known. I would have taken you to some places here, or at least one in particular that's like
next
amazing.
time when the world comes back to normal, we'll do that. So we'll have
Make sure it's when Ro's there by himself. Don't take it. Fuck your soup.
I'll take it. Oh, Ev, that Denny's that we went to is closed, by the way. They're gone.
Yeah, that's it. That one we were in Pacifica.
Yeah.
It's
But that was
I didn't go to that
pre-COVID. They sucked.
Yeah.
the one up there in the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not the one in
Yeah, I
Pacifica.
thought you
The
meant
one,
Pacifica.
no, where we went, where you and Renee
Yeah.
and kids that time.
Yeah.
That one, it's not there no more. Yeah, they're all
Okay.
Denny's are dropping like flies. But
They're,
anyway.
they're dropping like flies.
So we're gonna go based on the choices. We're gonna do lobster bisque in the top 3 because we both put lobster bisque.
Mhm.
Then we have to narrow down between French onion soup, pho, chicken noodle, clam chowder, and tortilla.
My vote's a chicken noodle.
I like chicken noodles classic, right? I mean,
Yeah, right. I think
Yeah.
chicken noodle gets a buy anyway because everybody at one point
right.
has had chicken noodle or
Right.
still has it just to feel better.
Yeah.
Can I just real quick add something? And you just brought this back. I used to work in a restaurant, and I was the dishwasher, and I had to do the soup. They had like these big things of soup, and they had like 3 soup of the days. They would do. There would be a soup of the day, and then there would be 3 soups that they had on the menu, and it would change. And it'd be
That's why you hate soup.
Yeah,
right.
It's starting to do a deep
Now it's
dive.
all
Like
coming back
the
to me. I'm like,
layers are
I'm
coming
having
off.
flashbacks. Like, oh,
See?
yeah, and the French onion and the clam chowder.
Look at your
and then they
arms
would
deep
do,
in that.
and they would do a soup of a day, and the pots would sit there all day, and then at the end, then I would take it, and so, like it would sit on something, and they'd keep it.
Why wouldn't you
warm or
soak it?
somewhere.
Okay, soak it in some soap. So it's
And
still,
just
You
fucking
can't. You don't always have that
nasty, like-
luxury in restaurants. I
yeah, and they had a
could
big
vouch
like
for that.
industrial washer and all that, but it just, especially the French onion, that shit would fucking be on. Like you had to get in there and fucking. So maybe that.
maybe.
All right.
But go on.
Someone has some trauma. All right.
Yeah.
I personally I can't do New England clam chowder or
Okay.
any clam chowder because I had a bad experience when I was a kid. I stayed home. I was sick one day, and my mom was like, "Just make yourself some soup." She always had like Campbell soup on deck. All right, cool. I get up, I go to the pantry, and I'm looking at the soups, and I don't know why my dumbass, I see the Campbell's clam chowder, right? And I had never had it before. And I'm like, oh,
Fire taste, by the way. Yeah, clams. We don't like clams in.
right. And it probably should be fresh and from a restaurant, not from a can, from Campbell's. And not when you're actually
should
sick.
probably be from
Especially
the
not
ocean.
Yeah.
Especially not Campbell's.
Yeah, right. And I was legit sick. So I made that, and needless to say, I got worse. And then after that, it ruined it for me. I've never been able to disassociate it from that experience. So I can't put that on the list, unfortunately. But I do fuck with the tortilla soup.
Okay. All right.
Especially like you said.
What's in a tortilla soup?
Tortillas.
Yeah. Chicken.
That's pretty much it. Broth, chicken broth. It's
chicken.
yeah, chicken.
I mean,
You
it's
would
really
probably like it.
Sell me on it, guys. Sell me on it.
It's kind of like
is there
it's
hominy
your
in
chicken
that?
noodle soup. It's your chicken noodle soup with tortilla but a little more flavor.
Yeah. You might actually like that. It's not.
You would
it's not,
actually
That's
like.
interesting.
There's not too much crazy stuff in there that you wouldn't fuck with. There may be corn. I want to say.
Some places do
Yeah.
corn, but celery, a little tomato,
Yeah.
carrots.
Yeah, typical. What do you
Basically,
call
chicken
that?
noodle soup with tortillas and a little
Yeah.
splash, a little splash of
A
flavor.
little flavor, a little tapatilla,
Yeah,
little hot
kick.
sauce.
You'll sweat a little bit. You'll definitely sweat a little bit.
You've piqued my interest.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got chicken noodle. We got tortilla soup. And what was the one you picked before? We agreed.
Pho,
Onion.
lobster
yeah,
bisque.
what's the third one? Lobster bisque. Yes. So lobster bisque, chicken noodle, and tortilla. Those are our choices, ladies and gentlemen. It's not bad.
It's not
I think
bad,
there's like 15 soups here.
I think that's a fit. That kind of like, crosses the span of types of soups. You got a little creamy, you got a little classic.
Yeah.
Got
And let a little outside the box a little bit. A little heat.
Yeah.
Little pow.
Look at that. Damn, saying I don't want soup.
Yeah, I kind of tomorrow I'm gonna get soup.
Now,
Whatever.
when you eat, so here's a good. When you guys have soup, how far do you go? Do you finish everything in your bowl, or that's another problem with soups? Like, when do you stop eating? Because it's
What do you mean? It's a bowl of soup.
If I eat the whole
Right.
thing, I mean, I don't eat the bowl.
Or though, if they put it in the bread bowl, that is crack. That is like,
Yeah.
Now that's the question you asked. You eat the whole bowl
Yeah.
because that's a mofo.
filling.
And
Yeah,
they put the soup in the bread. Have you ever had that, Ev? A bread bowl,
I've had bread bowl,
but not with soup.
No, what's it? Yeah.
Oh, that is like with a
That
good
is-
soup.
Yeah, I
Oh.
can see how.
That shit.
But that's what I mean, because when you're having soup, like, all right, now you're going with your spoon, and then now it gets to a point where you can't spoon it all up. So do you just, you know?
Yeah, you slurp
That's
that.
why I always ask.
Like cereal.
Yeah, exactly.
See, but there's
Cereal, I
right.
dump the milk on, and depending on the cereal.
Depends who you're with too, right? You can't do that.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
if you're by
There's
yourself,
a lot that goes into this, right? If you're home and you don't,
I don't give a fuck who I'm with. I'm putting that bowl to me. I pay for this shit. I'm drinking my soup. Fuck, it's the best part. I put in all the work. I'm just gonna leave the best part for the end.
I'll take a question. Do you slurp the soup no matter what? You're ride or die?
Yeah,
Wedding,
I'm ride or die. I mean, I can do it without making noise. I don't have to go like,
Okay.
you know, I can quietly drink it.
Can you?
Wedding, you're slurping the soup.
Waiter, can I have a straw?
Wedding,
Can I have,
you're
can I have a
slurping the
paper straw?
Why didn't I slurp the soup? You said?
No, at a wedding, are you slurping the soup?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm balls to the wall when it comes
A
to
stately
soup.
dinner. You get invited.
Oh yeah, fancy steak and there's soup. Do you still slurp in front of?
I mean, I guess. All right. If I might embarrass someone else, I wouldn't do it. But if it's just
your wife is getting an award.
Yeah, like something like that.
There.
Yeah, I'm not a heathen.
She's up at the podium and you're.
You know, because my mic's on, I forgot.
Some good soup right here, man. Some good soup.
Man. Do you know will they give us seconds?
You gonna have yours?
See, but now it's hard for me too, because all right, when I came out here, I thought before I moved out here, I thought that like I had a pretty good palate and that I was open to things, and I wasn't. Then I moved here and I was just like, fuck, all right, there's just a lot of stuff I've never tried. Like I thought I had tacos before. I never had tacos before.
Yeah,
like
I never had Mexican tacos.
Right, I had Taco Bell, which nothing wrong with Taco Bell, but I hadn't had authentic Mexican food like I thought I did. Same thing with Chinese food. Same thing with ramen, like cup of noodles. Like nah, like ramen's a fucking whole thing. It's an art
form. Yep.
So when you're talking about soups, there are two Filipino, and I'm gonna call them soups because I don't know what else you would call them, that are right now my favorite. And I don't really, one is called sinigang, and I know any Filipinos listening will be like, that's shit. And it's a sour soup. It's made either with pork or beef. Usually has some like mustard greens and just like a clear broth. Sometimes they put this kind of like root vegetable similar to a potato. It's fucking amazing. And then there's another one that's similar to it, but it's not sour. And right now I can't get enough of those two. So, but throwing that on the list wouldn't be fair because I mean, I don't know how many people, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Would know. But if anybody's listening and you're curious to try some new soups, find a Filipino restaurant and try some sinigang. I think you'll enjoy it. It's really good.
Sinigang.
Ooh, got them vocals.
Yeah.
That's a commercial right there, son. Sinigang. It's delicious.
Boom.
All right.
I got a question. So this is probably going to be a little controversial, but we'll take this out.
Yeah, because nothing else was controversial on this.
Yeah.
Woke. I'm trying to get people woke. So I'm driving past. It was like a bus depot, and it had a big sign out there, and it said, "Heroes work here." So me driving by, I'm like, heroes. So my question is, are people who worked through the pandemic, are they heroes? Are they considered heroes? And so I'll give my little spiel.
You mean MTA people or just people in general?
Just in general. You know, maybe we can. Right, maybe we can categorize.
I'm not playing this game with you.
As the second wave is hitting, I want to know.
You are crazy. I thought you were just talking about the MTA. You going to talk about everybody?
Everyone.
Well, we'll throw it out. Maybe we'll categorize who is what. All right. So first off the bat, even because we could talk about nurses, and doctors, and all that. Everyone who's getting paid. Let's take the hero thing, before we even get there, because when you think about heroes, you think about maybe going above and beyond, and roast beef, No, but seriously, like superheroes and comics and all that, they weren't getting paid. You know, so when you sign up for a job and even like firefighters and things like that, when they, you know, at some point you're gonna fight a fire. This is what you accept this with the job. But we can break it down even more than that. But with like the MTA here, especially here in the city, when the lockdown first began and coronavirus was really hitting, what they did with the buses was basically they cut off half the bus and they wrapped it in plastic so no one could even get close to the bus driver. Then they cut the fares. There was no one's paying. So they crammed everybody in the back of the bus when you're supposed to be separated. So everybody's in the back of the bus huddled together. And the bus driver's in this giant bubble. And so what's so heroic about that? That was the main thing why I thought about it and I laughed because, and I know, you know, I know people who work for the MTA. I have friends who work for the MTA.
You had friends that worked for the MTA.
Thank you. And it was funny. One of my friends was like, this is the fucking easiest money I've ever made. He's like, because now he doesn't have to worry about people paying their fare. Nobody comes near him talking about it. And they're making a shitload of overtime. And he's
Is
like,
it still like that? Is it still free?
No, they just went back to collecting fares. But yeah, so
Yeah, go ahead, roll.
You down in front, yes.
Oh my God. So, oh God, this is gonna be a tough one here. The reason why they set up that barrier is because they were dying from COVID.
Bus drivers?
Bus drivers were dying from COVID. That's why they had to make that separation. They were driving all these
right. So let's huddle all the normal people in the back again, where they can get COVID.
I'm not saying the way they went about it is correct. I am not saying that at all. I still thought it was fucking stupid. My point is though, the drivers that are in that bus the whole time were dying. That's why they set those rules up to protect the drivers. Now, if you're talking about you're standing in the booth, 100%. I will ride or die with you that on the people in the booth. They're literally just like, oh, hey, give me this, give me that. Boom. But the drivers, before they set that barrier, they were going out like flies. All these guys were getting it left and right. Veterans that have been there.
I think we'd have to check the stats on that. I don't think there's anything heroic about driving a bus during the pandemic.
Again, before they put that up, it was very heroic. I will give shout outs to all of them. But
think about it. We went into lockdown, so we already knew what it was. So, you know,
the buses they had to really, again, until more and more either people got sick or died, then that's really when they went extreme, and then that's when they cut off the fares because they were still people were still coming on. But they didn't set that till I think 2 months later after they. I think what was this shut off March? Mm-hmm. So January and February, you were finding out that people were getting COVID, right? But you didn't know how, right? Or how can we kind of space it out and figure it out? And so when they shut down everything, because March 12th was my last day of work, and then April was like really like boom, that's it. Nothing's going on.
Yeah, that's the third week of March and last week of March is when we went.
That's when it went like
lockdown.
Strictly lockdown.
Because my kids, they closed school, kicked all the kids out of school, and all that.
So the thing is, I think if anybody's willing to jeopardize their lives,
but you're getting paid. That's what this is. You know, this is my point.
People are getting paid to stay at home, getting $900. Some people get $900.
Right.
Yeah, but you get paid in the military and you're a hero saving lives. So you don't have to do that. I mean, I think for me, like, all right, medical people, I think they're heroes no matter what, whether it's a pandemic or not.
They're getting paid. And this is the same, and I was going to get into, especially with the nurses. Do you know how much my sister's a nurse. I have a lot of family. They are caking off. They overtime is through the roof, and
suicide rate for nurses is higher than before.
That's not true. That's completely made up so they can justify that they're putting themselves on the line. They're making more overtime. Nurses have made more money than they've ever made before.
So the PTSD that they're getting from this, and again, I'm talking to nurses I've talked to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just throwing this. I'm not doing a whole like, oh well, this is the people that I've actually talked to that were head
but
nurse.
I'm not doing that either. My sister's a nurse. My cousin's a nurse, so I'm talking.
Sir, because
so you're saying she's not a nurse? I'm saying she's a nurse.
No, I'm saying where is she at? Because certain areas got hit bigger than other areas. So if you're located in Brooklyn or Queens and certain places they just got hit harder than other places got hit harder. So if you're a nurse, you might not have seen everything. You might have got more of the benefits of it, but you might have been a nurse at a place that did get hit really hard. And the drama from just seeing cases going over and over and over again versus a hospital that didn't get hit as hard, it's two different conversations.
Right,
you know?
And that's exactly but you're going right to my point, where is maybe we're generalizing the whole heroes, and there's like exactly like you said, some places are worse than others. Some people, because they're in the same profession, doesn't mean they're doing the same jobs.
So wait, are you saying because if a person gets paid to do a job, then they're not a hero because they choosing to do that and get paid for it, no matter the case?
Yeah, no matter, in a sense. When you sign up for something, there's the most extreme. When you sign up to be a doctor, you might have to do, the most extreme part of your job may become a reality, and this is something that you signed up for. This is something that hey, you know what? This is what I thought could happen. When you become a soldier, there's a possibility you might go to war. When you become a police officer, something, the possibility that this is something that you signed up for. Right. And I'm not saying this is not what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to put out as a discussion,
I mean, it's fair. I think what you're saying.
Send your emails to evan@gmail.com.
No, I mean, I think it's fair what you're saying, but at the same time, I think just because someone gets paid for something, it doesn't negate the heroic things they're doing. Because, for instance, like there's jobs that people would do anyway, whether they got paid or not. It's not their fault that they're getting paid for it. I want to be a doctor. My dad was sick, died of cancer. I'm going to be a doctor and save people's lives. I'm going to be the best at it. And I do save people's lives. I get paid for it, yes, but I would have done this no matter what. So, you would
have done it if you weren't getting paid for it. That's
not true.
Line.
That's not true.
Oh, so you're saying a hero.
You're assuming.
How would you support yourself? That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying a hero can only be someone who just does it out of the goodness of their heart and is not getting paid for it.
I'm not saying
doing something heroic. Doing something heroic.
Every World War II vet got paid for what they did. So I mean,
they did not get paid. It's called a draft, and so that's completely
they still
different.
signed. They still got paid. Even though you got drafted, you still get paid.
We're going to war. The whole world's going to war. Get in there. That's completely different. When we talk about Desert Storm and things like that.
All right, no, but
those are enlisted men.
Like that. Yeah.
Versus volunteering. I hear it. I know what he's saying. Versus volunteering, you volunteering to go to war. Versus, yes, they were drafted.
Right.
They got paid or not, they were drafted.
And then let's even take it further.
I understand what you're saying.
You may have people that get drafted that avoid the conflict and or whatever the case may be, and then you have those that go above and beyond. They're not supposed to be there, but they go and they do selfless acts and things like that. And when I was talking about firemen and police officers, like they expect certain situations are going to happen. And I'll bring up 9/11. Like these are circumstances that are extraordinary. So they didn't have to run into these buildings. They didn't have to do these things. And when we talk about the doctors and nurses with coronavirus, there are some that are heroic because they're doing what's not completely expected of them. And so what more to the point is, are we generalizing? Like when I drive by the bus thing and I say heroes working and is everybody there a hero? A lot of people are going there to collect a check, get that easy overtime. So what do we consider a hero?
But it's the verbiage, though. It's heroes work here. It doesn't say everyone that works here is a hero. You know, so that's
And-
how you interpret it,
And
right?
I think the climate that
That's
we're
a
in
good
right
point.
now, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I feel it's a little, when it comes to doctors and things like that, it's a little nitpicking, I think, because it's like, I mean, yeah, they're getting paid, but damn, they're still doing something good. Now, a bus driver, maybe I don't agree that they're heroes, because maybe we don't fucking need people out anyway. Everybody should be home. You know what I mean? Come up with a special system just for doctors to get to work, or nurses to get to work, but maybe not need everybody out in the street or whatever. There are
Elon
some
Musk,
jobs that you need.
we need these driverless buses.
Right.
Boom.
And there are, jobs that people need to go to work to do. There's, for instance, my building, we have engineers that need to come to work. If not, these fucking buildings will fall apart and it would be a nightmare. I don't think that they're heroes, like Ev said, because
Right.
most of them don't have to come in. You can say, no, I don't want to, but I think you got to kind of also look at the overall, picture of their job and what they do. And I think that's what
it's case by case with everything. What I think is,
because not every nurse and doctor's a hero. There are some fucking shit
right,
that are lazy and don't want to do anything.
Are we throwing the word hero out there nonchalantly? Because maybe I think there's too many. I don't even want to say there's too many people, but I think, are we diminishing the actual definition of a hero? Because now, if the bus drivers are saying they're heroes, and the deli workers saying they're heroes, and then the doctors who are saving lives, and the nurses who are actually saving lives and comforting people who are dying, and then that's where I'll get to it.
The people who are exposing themselves the most to this this virus, those are the heroes. The people that expose themselves every day to this virus, those are the heroes. Now, we are normally going about our day, but those people are at the forefront of it. Yeah. So I think those people who are involved at the forefront of the virus every single day. Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. I was joking around putting this mask on because I didn't want to be on this to see what you said. But anyway, I wear this all day at work, like whatever color it is, and I can't take it off at work at all, but to have a sip of water or, I use the bathroom or take a shower at work. But I can't even imagine what a nurse or a doctor has to do. They're doing layers of that shit. So I don't care.
And when they leave, and just that, when they leave to go out and get lunch, they completely have to strip.
Yeah, dude.
Throw that away, and then do it
every
all over,
day.
every time.
So you're a hero in my book, because I just do this for 7-8 hours, and I want to kill myself.
I think
I can't even imagine what What is a hero? Is it always saving a life, or is it the little things? Well,
that's why I was talking about the nurses, like especially in the senior homes and in homes like that, or even in the hospital, where they're comforting dying victims and people that are really affected, like especially early on when there were people dying and their family members couldn't even see them.
They're consoling them. They're consoling their families.
And they would take like an iPad and do a virtual FaceTime so they can.
And they didn't train them. But again, they didn't train them for that. That's heroic thinking. Like, I want you to be able to.
And that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Those are the heroes. Those are the heroes, but not everyone's a hero.
I think everyone, but I think people that are really, again, I'll say it, I'll stress it, this whole conversation is like anybody who's willing to put themselves in the forefront of getting sick and dying. Like, again, it's not like they had a vaccine to be like, hey, I'm doing my job. Yes, I'm getting paid. I think they should get paid every dollar, because again, taking that shit on and off every fucking day, just alone mentally in your fucking head. You got the rings around your face, your eyes, like you're trying
ears, what it does to your ears.
Oh my God, that shit hurts.
And the headaches you get.
All
that shit.
I think at first it started just as a morale boost. When the whole pandemic started, everything shut down. Everybody
early on. I think
early on, everybody's scared, depressed, don't know what the fuck is going on. We need something to grab to look forward to, some hope. How about the people that we consider heroes, whether or not they actually heroes or not, but give people something to hold on to. And I think just like anything else, over time, people jump on the bandwagon.
They quit on us. It's a wrap.
Yeah, exactly. But over time, everybody wants to get in on it, and then that's when you start getting, like you said,
it diminishes the word heroes. And this is, this was my point. And Ro, you hit it on the head with yeah, maybe there's heroes that work here, but not everyone's a hero. And I just, are we should we be afraid that we are diminishing work and now everyone wants, to be
No,
a hero?
I think it's the same thing when you're at an airport, right? And you see someone in the military. And remember, there was all that clapping, like a couple of years ago, like in my military, everybody's clapping for him. And then you find out later, like that dude has never even, or lady hasn't even been in combat or hasn't done anything like that. And so, they'll come up to you on the side. Hey, no, please stop. I just do this, And so,
but I think with that point is, though, at any time they could, they would be before me and you who are sitting comfortably 100%, in that chair. 100%.
But again, they still haven't done anything heroic.
Right. So
but
to
signing
them,
their life away. That's what
right.
I'm just saying. So it's like, I think you in this case are diminishing heroism because you're nitpicking at little things. We're all going through this. And I think when you label someone a hero or saying heroes live here, it motivates them to come and do their job. And so we're in a pandemic. You need everybody to get motivated somehow. However you motivate your people at your job, however, Joe motivates people at his job or just people around him, you have to build that morale, because outside and what you're seeing on the news before the whole, you forgot, not only was there COVID, but the social climate was just fucking like dark and dreary. Yeah. So you never heard a positive answer. And so now there's light at the end of the tunnel that you see, but you want to still keep them going because it's the second round. So when I talked to my nurse friend the other day, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm seeing the numbers spike up again. I'm having, my body's already stressing just thinking about what's going to happen again, because I've already seen this movie. Now I'm going to see it all over again." Mm-hmm. And so I don't know what that's like. I can't even imagine what that's like. But even to go like put my shoes on again and be like, fuck, I want to go back into this. It's like going back into a storm. It's like, do I want to go back in that fucking storm? I'm already home. I'm safe and I'm warm, but I got to put my shit back on and do it again. I was like, do I really want to do that? And I think anybody that's willing to wake up, regardless of what the check is, and we know this better than anybody, you can get paid whatever you want, but it's just the mental, like, I want to do this for the greater good of everyone. It's one thing to be my job, but if I really want to do it,
right,
and I really am passionate about it, then I'm
beyond.
Exactly. And that's why
that's what I think, the people who deliver food and people who work in the restaurant industry and things like that you can consider them more of basically the people making less money than anybody else, but still doing it, not only because they have to, but they're risking themselves to provide for their family. And I think that's more heroic than someone doing their job that's expected of them, and now they're getting premium dollar. Basically the MTA, so fuck the MTA.
So if
it's a good
work for the MTA,
man.
you can send your email.
All I can say is go to school and then get paid more dollars. Get the education and then you get paid more dollars. What do you say?
Or become a bus driver and get paid a lot. Just
but
as
again,
much.
It was a period of time. I mean, I can say the same things for trainers right now. Trainers, when this was going on, you could have side clients and you were still getting the money from the gym, for unemployment. And then you get an extra 600. So there were people killing it. Everybody's going to take advantage of certain things, and it just in life in general, it doesn't matter when it is, whether there's a pandemic or not, people are always out there for themselves. So again, if you could come to work, again, I think the people who really got treated the worst out of this and they didn't really do anything is essential workers that had to work in grocery stores. Yeah. They got screwed so many ways to Sunday, because I think what they should have done is had them tax-free. That way would have made up for the people that actually got the extra money because they couldn't get that. So had them tax-free. And then also we forget they weren't allowed to do, normally they're not allowed to do 40 hours anyway, because you want to keep your people on the minimum. So let's say 36 hours a week you're averaging. You lost that because remember we had the certain hours we had to work. So they didn't open the stores till they changed it now to like 7, 8, and then they closed at 6 or 5. So you didn't get a full work week. And on top of that, then they made it just the first 2 hours for older people. So you had to be mindful of that. So like, think about that. Like, I got to wake up every day. I got to do this. Some people are traveling all the way from the fucking Bronx to come to a fucking Whole Foods all the way down, in Manhattan,
Jeez.
and then to get shitted on every day. So I mean, those people I think are the biggest heroes to me, that did that, because again, they could have said I quit, or before they'd be like I don't want to do this, and then got paid $700, $900, way more than they would have paid for that.
Yeah, you can easily have said, yeah, you don't feel safe and you won't do it.
It's tough, but
You would
again,
go
like
and
at the
collect
end of the day,
unemployment. But
And
so the reason why I proposed this, and we got a lot of good input out of it, is because, like I was talking about, as far as comics and things like that, heroes, the superheroes and all that were reluctant, and it wasn't their job, or they took it upon their job where there are no rewards. Their rewards were doing the right thing and saving people and helping others that needed help. So, so a hero is someone who's doing what's not expected of them for reasons other than themselves.
Yeah.
well, if you want to go
And
into
that-
comic books and stuff like movies, stuff like Batman has it the easiest, right? Or Iron Man, because they
But Batman didn't have to do it because he was
but again,
rich. He could,
Neither did Iron Man. Neither did Iron Man either.
Batman-
Right?
but
Batman
they
was
still
pretty
did it.
very
But financially, they were good. So I'm saying, so
Right. So they
Spider-Man
didn't have to do
with
it.
his aunt. He did it because his uncle died, so he wanted to save more people. So it's we can all different things. But I think if you have finances and then you have to make a choice, then I think that's we can go like who's heroic or not from that. But hey, if I'm getting paid to do a job, that doesn't automatically mean I'm going to be heroic either. But I have an
You
opportunity.
become a hero when you go above and beyond. So when you become, when you're a nurse or a doctor and you don't run from it and you go at it head on, that's when you become a
again,
a
I don't
hero.
thi- I
When
don't
you
think-
put
I don't
yourself
think-
at risk needlessly,
Yeah.
then that's when you become a hero. Because think about it, there's a lot of doctors and nurses who also said, oh, well, I know doctors who shut down their private practices and things like that, so they didn't have to deal with the outbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can afford
So,
to do
of
that
course.
as well.
Right.
But I think if you ask these nurses, doctors, all these people that are being labeled heroic or heroes, they don't feel they are. They feel what
Yeah,
you're saying.
that's
They're
true.
just doing their job. So again, they got to put a label on them.
That's true.
And so it's like I have to live up to this fucking label, even though I could be the same person. Like I spoke as
Yeah.
like,
100%.
It's like
you
that.
gave me this label. We weren't
Yeah.
walking out like,
No,
oh my
Yeah,
god.
so
I hated my
short-
job before coronavirus. Like, what the
Yeah, so
fuck?
in short, anyone who calls themselves a hero is not a hero, and anyone that you call a hero and they reluctantly,
Now,
or they
are
disagree with it, but they're the heroes.
you are you guys still hearing that hero talk or rhetoric? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't even hear
No.
that anymore.
But it's coming. It's going to come again because
Yeah.
it's coming.
Like for instance, so my brother-in-law, who lives with us, he or we live with him, he's a nurse, and he said when
Tell him Evan thinks he sucks.
To not
oh
say that.
I'm like, hey, so come here with your non-hero ass.
Does he drive a bus? He's fine. He's good.
But he was saying how at first you had all these, and he in no way is like expecting this or wants it, but he was saying like at first he had all these companies that were like donating free lunches and things to all the nurses and doctors and all that, and he was like it was steady for a while, but he was just like now everything's kind of, I guess, back to normal. Yeah. So I was just curious, if that was still like something out there, as far like the MTA and stuff, because I haven't seen anything like that here.
No,
But
as far as
again,
other
that's-
than like medical workers, like they didn't say like
it
bar
goes
workers.
to my point, and why I brought it up is, we're gonna start throwing around the word hero
Mhm.
to the point where
Doesn't mean
hero,
anything.
right? It doesn't mean anything, and
Yeah.
then you really diminish the people who are heroes. So that
Yeah,
that
I-
was the point of bringing this whole thing up.
Yeah, I get it's kind of like the whole what do you call that, participation trophy thing, where it's just like you're not you it's okay to have winners and losers. You know, not everybody should get praised just cause like, and I agree with that. You know, telling kids like, hey, yeah, you're great, just because you put on the uniform. Like, no, he sucks. It's okay to say like you're not good at something and try something else.
Right.
But again, they labeled it, I think, on the sign. They,
Yeah.
They didn't say everyone in this building. They said,
yeah. I don't think there was any ill intentions
that's
behind
a great
it.
point. And the other point that Ro brought up is for motivation.
Yeah.
How do you keep people going above and beyond?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that hero label inspired people or inspired others who weren't thinking of,
Yeah, I was just going to say that the people who were lazy or weren't really doing anything, now they're like, oh shit, this is my time to step up and really help out. So that can, you just don't know what it's going to instill in people until the challenge is in front of you. So like I said, I would hate to, to frown upon that term because I haven't myself been in that situation. But just talking to people and hearing them stories and seeing it for myself, like, oh shit, if I had to do that every day, could I do that? And then, like I said, until I went back to work, when I had to, and Joe, you guys we were wearing masks, right? Those hours that were there at work, and just sitting there at a desk, talking, having conversations, doing everything, having to work in, let alone then working out with a mask and yelling at. I'm like the mask Nazi and put people on the treadmill. Put your mask on. No, like
especially in New York City, it's mandate like in any building inside New York City.
Yeah, and so it's like unless you have your own private office, then you take it off. Otherwise, you're amongst all these people. So I can't even fathom like them having to put a mask on, put another layer of mask on, another visor on top of that, a hazmat suit, and then fucking deal, and then seeing people die. You're the last person they see. That like the mental of that.
All your efforts go for nothing.
Because you don't know what you're up against. You don't know how to defeat it. You're learning, and then all of a sudden you're like you think you're making a headway, and then all of a sudden boom, another 100 cases come in. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I like to hope or think that most nurses and doctors are pretty humble. Like me and Ev, me and Ev, we saved, 2 people from a fire, right? And we didn't consider
Nobody
ourselves
called us heroes.
like we didn't consider ourselves heroes, and neither did anyone else.
Is that why Evan's upset because he didn't get his badge?
I never got my hero recognition.
Nope. I mean, smoking. Buildings on fire, flames. We're saving children.
Carried a disabled kid down a fire escape.
Pointing the fire department, telling them where to go. Like, there's people in here. There's nobody in there. Nobody thought we were heroes.
It's funny you say because I remember seeing the fireman who responded and young kid, and his eyes, like he had that fear, like, oh shit, I'm about to go into a fire, like. What did I sign up for? Look, but
the one who couldn't get the fucking ladder
couldn't get the ladder down. Yeah, and I'm making jokes with him because I handed him my hard drive, which I handed him my hard drive to me. I was like, take care of my baby, please. And he gave me this look like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, no. Here's the thing: you handed him the kid. You had left your hard drive on the fire escape. You handed him the kid, and he was like, wait. Hold on, and he went back up, and they were calling him like, no, but they couldn't get up because I was with the other kid and we were in the way. So he ran up and he grabbed his hard drive, and then when he came down, he gave it to the firefighter so he could get down the ladder. He's like, here, hold this. This is my baby. They didn't find my baby.
Nah.
I was like, ah.
And they call them probies. I had a lot of firefighter friends on Staten Island, and they would, you can always tell the rookie. When he's like shitting a brick, I forget there's a word for it, but they call them probies, the new guys, and testing the fire because again you train all this, but nothing prepares you when you go into that.
F and G's. And
it was funny. I remember last summer, when I'm dating and stuff, and then one of the guys is single, who's a fireman, and I'm like, oh, what's your Bumble profile look like for guys? Like, it's like this motherfucker's running out of a fire as one of his profile pictures.
Yeah.
I was like,
how do you compete with that?
That's not fair.
It's like, yeah, bro. It's like you see this flame like behind his head. He's like, I'm like, really?
He's all brooding.
I'm like this by the pool. I'm like,
my nails manicured.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I feel great.
Yeah. So to bring it back, I think my point is let's recognize the real heroes, and let's not diminish the word hero, because there are heroes out there everywhere. And
shout out to all the heroes out there.
Shout out to all
Except
the heroes.
MTA.
Except for the MTA.
But what if somebody in the MTA went above and beyond?
There are heroes there. Like
saying.
Rose said it. There may be like two guys in that whole thing, so the sign is not wrong. Heroes work here. They could have been guys at the forefront of it that were like.
Right.
What about
when
the
people
ones
were
that
calling out sick and it's like,
handicap?
you know what? I'm gonna come to work.
Listen, people that have to do the handicap always on the bus, like they know they have a handicapped person always on their route.
That's part of
They
the
get
job.
Most of the drivers I know, I see them pass them all the time where they do it's not working. Like next bus and go.
Or all right, what about the bus driver who knows he doesn't have to get to the next stop for 7 minutes because that's what it says on the thing, but he fucking punches it and gets there in 5? I think that's a hero. Because
what about the people who were timing it to get there at that time, and now they missed their bus because of fucking Speedy Gonzalez over here?
One man's trash is another man's treasure. I mean, it's he's a hero to some and zero to others.
Diminishing the word hero. This is the point.
I mean, listen. All right, look, Batman fucking saves the city, and
he's Robin a hero. Is Robin a hero? Just Batman.
No, Robin gets paid. So Batman fucking
does he?
Right? No,
does
here we go.
Paid?
Batman saves the city.
It was cutting him off.
Right? He saves the city, right? But he fucking set off like 1,000,000 grenades and 15 explosions.
Destroys
the little fucking mom and pop store now that has a fucking bad guy through the window. Now they're like, fuck this guy.
Their insurance goes up.
Like, so is he a hero now, or is he just some fucking reckless vigilante that should have called the cops?
No, but the guy from State Farm is a hero because he's going to cover all that insurance. That's what they should do, a skit of like after everything's like crumbled after the superhero scene, right? And then like the guy from State Farm's like
the adjuster's like, oh my god.
I know this guy. He ruins
Who was it this time? Was it Batman? This looks like Batman's work.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
I've seen this.
We've handled this case before.
At the end of Avengers, just
flexing his muscles.
Oz. We are farmers.
He's like, we've seen this before. Superhero flexing his muscles. Yeah, we've dealt with this back in '96.
Yep, we had a Hulk.
Oh, Hulk smash! Yeah. Hulk. Yeah, he should just do every. Yes, that's great.
But yeah, shout out to all the heroes out there, to everyone on the front line. Really doing. You know who you are. Don't let
Ed doesn't know who you are, but you know who you are.
I know who the real heroes are, and it's like we said.
Do you think your sisters are heroes?
Next up,
Oh man, and that's it for another episode.
That's about it on time.
There you go. Wow, that was great. Wow, that show. You're gonna have fan mail now.
We're gonna have to ask her. Let her ask.
You have a lot of fan mail this week.
Yeah.
I'm only worried about the bus people. Next time I try to catch a bus, they're gonna drive right past.
They're gonna take you out. They're gonna take you out. MTA all day. Post pictures of you. I love the MTA.
Here's another thing about the MTA. This is what we're talking about. I know we're about to sign off, but
tell them why you mad.
Fucking subways. The subways don't run from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So there's a whole chunk of people that trying to commute.
Oh, sorry.
They do run at 1 o'clock. I've been on a train at 1 o'clock in the morning.
You've been on the path. New York City. I'm telling you right now, 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, they stop it for cleaning.
It's 3 o'clock. They stop it.
Okay, 3 o'clock, whatever. It's still a time where it's not running. Yeah, my job, I have to be at work at 4 o'clock.
You're driving to work.
I'm driving in. What about my employees? This is what I'm talking about.
Tell them to get a new job.
See?
How's the ferry been running?
Tell them to be a hero and go get a new job.
How's the ferry running throughout all this? Has it changed?
Perfect,
I
and
stopped-
it's so
I stopped
ghetto.
taking-
What they've
Yeah.
done, they've put signs on every other seat.
which they should have done
Oh,
from
that's great. Yeah.
pre-COVID.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
always
yeah.
get those fucking assholes want to come sit next to you. For
So I
the whole
usually-
fucking-
I have a spray with me. I spray my seat anyway because they look like they haven't wiped down those seats in like eons. I'm just like,
Yeah.
so what's the point of the space out if you're not even going to wipe down the seats? It's just like,
Yeah.
COVID
and-
started.
I want to know how many.
Fairly.
Let's talk about those guys. So many dudes just walking
I'm not
around.
gonna be able to ride buses, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ride the ferry.
Sorry. We're gonna get sent out. Okay, but I'm just saying, there's some dudes on there, some good people. But there's some bad people on there. Just like don't
like
do
anyway.
anything. Yeah. I'm just like again. So you just
Yeah.
drive it straight. Just drive it straight across. You drive it straight across back.
Moral of the story is
Right, you don't even have to turn it around.
You don't have to turn
seriously,
around.
you back up.
Yeah.
It's front and back.
Front and back. It's like you walk to the other side and go the other way.
You literally drive the boat back like this.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you do.
It's like a hypnotized video.
Ooh. Oz, look at you
Back
plug
up.
that. That's
Yeah.
good, Oz. All right. Let me see you do that on the train, son. Let me see you
Try
do
that shit on the
train.
train. Oh
So
man.
let's do some plugs. We didn't do it on the last episode,
Yeah.
so let's shout out what everyone's got going on. This episode will probably air after episode.
Oh, we should do it for the
7.
holiday week? We should do it for the holiday week?
No, we'll probably get it out at the end of
Okay.
end of this week, maybe for next weekend, but it'll air later this week.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, what do we got going on? Got a lot going on, actually.
Woken Up Woke. This is episode 8. Chugging right along. I think we're picking up listeners and viewers. The YouTube is
Yeah.
actually YouTube's picking up steam.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot more comments and input from people, and they seem to, all 10 of them seem to enjoy it. So, yeah.
Hey, that's how Roger started, bro.
Yay. It's
You
gotta
gotta
start
like the
somewhere,
show.
man.
If you like the show, let somebody know. Put them on.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
We do it for you guys. But yeah, last recent episode of Man a Few Words is out. I review Busta Rhymes' new album, ELE2, but I just found out there's 2 versions of it, and I did the shorter one. So I'm going to do an update to that. There's 4 more songs that I didn't hear on the other.
22-1 you didn't do?
I did a 22 one. There's a 26 one that has a
Really?
song with Eminem, and it's a red, same picture but red background instead of
wow.
white.
I gotta see it. Okay.
So yeah, so check those out, and I'll update.
I
that.
wish you'd have a little. Just I loved your breakdown of the album. I think you were just trying to keep it safe with Mariah for your wifey.
Nah, you don't like that song?
I like the Mary
I
J
like
one,
it. I think
Blige
it's
one a lot better. A lot
Oh
better.
yeah,
Mary
yeah,
J. Blige
yeah,
one's a
yeah.
lot
Hands
better.
down, hands down. But I like.
I like the
song.
Kendrick Lamar one. I'm surprised you didn't put that in the.
I was honestly, I was just running out of time, but because I figured, there was so many, like the Rick Ross and other ones that I skipped, I figured I'll leave a little bit for people to kind of
Okay.
learn on their own.
Just to
and
add
I need you to be like, boom, yo, this shit is fire. Some
Well,
flames, drop a bomb on it.
Here's the thing: I was not doing that real time, so the music was added later.
nice.
I was in the room and quiet, trying to,
I want a bomb somewhere. Like, yo, this is Joe needs his own sound effect. Like, this is
the next few I'm gonna try to do at a different time
Or
where I can
maybe
be a little more animated. But
he was one of the people from our old show to like comment on it.
like,
Yeah.
like Cole.
Cole.
Yeah,
Cole's dad.
yeah,
Philip front. Philip
This is
front.
fire. Yeah, this is Philip. This is
One of the things you talked about, like the Belle Biv DeVoe and
Mhm.
forget what the other one, but when they do that for it's a royalty thing. So when they say
Mhm.
featuring Belle Biv DeVoe,
Mhm.
that's a way they can use that sample And so let's say I go to Bell Biv DeVoe and say, hey, I want to use this poison sample. And they're like, well, give us a feature because it pays more. So they get paid like half of the publishing on that.
Gotcha, yeah.
Or part of the publishing. So that's why they'll do that.
Yeah, the other one was Old Dirty Bastard. For anybody that's like, hey, he's dead, he can't have him featured.
So they can pay his estate.
Yeah, no, I do know Old Dirty passed away. I just thought maybe it was like some unreleased stuff that he had.
That's what I thought too.
I got excited.
And it sucks and it's good because like, oh, you're getting used to that. But I was like, oh, give me a little bit more.
Yeah.
I hate MOP, by the way. I never liked MOP. I was glad until I'm sorry. Personally, I never liked it.
Yeah, I didn't like the Bell Biv DeVoe song. That shit was fucking annoying. I don't know. You got I don't know. Maybe it was just me.
I just like it's driving me.
Yeah, that part. I mean, but it was just that.
And then he makes it later, but then I was fine. I don't know. Yeah, it flows to me.
Well,
I give it.
Check out the Man a Few Words podcast, and it's a great episode. Full on review.
Thank you.
And Ro has After Hours with Ro. Great interviews coming up.
Yeah,
got to make that a podcast too, so people can just listen to it. Because the interview, Ro's becoming a world class interviewer.
Yes,
like,
I agree.
Thank you. Your interviewing skills are like you're really engaging your guest, and it's just really it's a good watch, it'd be a good listen if you were in your car. Because you don't want to be playing Instagram and looking at it. Get pulled over, so
I need to come over to your place and we'll do a walkthrough of everything.
Yeah.
So let me. Yeah,
maybe I'll just put you onto the Anchor app and or I can show you how my brothers does it with what's it called, audio something.
Audacity.
Audacity.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to. You can do both.
Yeah, it's simple, bro. I mean, like I said, with the exception of the last Man a Few Words episode. All the other ones I did on my phone.
Yeah, and you got two phones, so you would just keep one open.
Yeah, so you don't necessarily always have to have the setup. If something comes to you and you just want to do it, and you can even record it and save it on Anchor and then upload it later if you want to add more or whatever. It's real user friendly, it's simple. So you'll be able to get the hang of it.
But yeah, just definitely check out After Hours with Ro. Interviews are great.
Special guest tomorrow, J-Ho. She is a former volleyball player for Notre Dame, two-time All-American, so 6'3". So a lot of guys have been hitting me up. She's single. We're going to talk about her dating life and what she looks for in a man. So that should be very interesting.
She's the one that doesn't hold back.
She's a ball of energy.
She doesn't hold back, right?
She just says it.
Okay, yeah, I like her.
So you were gonna really, I told everybody be careful. It's gonna be very sensitive. Evan, you left the party.
Yeah, he's
okay.
I'm here. My battery's dying. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So that should be fun. And then this show, of course, we're taking a little break from Black films. Unfortunately, my co-host has gotten
oh no way.
Yeah, so
it's real people.
It's real out there. Be careful.
Be safe.
Be careful, especially the holidays.
Yeah. There won't be an episode of The Ordinary Joes this week. I had to delay that one because I've been under the weather. Almost didn't make this one, but felt a little better today. But we will be doing that one next week and then taking a break, I believe, for Thanksgiving weekend. So I'll update everybody on the Instagram. On the Instagram.
I was gonna say we can use the show for that Thanksgiving if you want to take it off. We'll have it.
Yeah.
So if we did one more on Monday, we can use one of these.
No, I'm talking about the Ordinary Joe's one with Eric. But yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
we
for
can
us.
do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this is my last Sunday night, so we'll have to work out something. But we'll talk about that offline. But yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good, man. Once again, thank you everybody for listening, commenting, giving us your feedback. We appreciate it. And
send your hate mail to Evan. Evan, give me your email,
woken up woke at gmail.com. Comment on the YouTube channel or or we have a Instagram page too. If you're
Can't wait
an
to see that
MTA
fire.
worker, send it to us. It's all about getting woke, wake me up.
Before
So,
you go.
I was woken up too. Bro said,
Oh, man, I'm on fire.
great point. But there are heroes. Not everyone's a hero, but there are heroes working.
Yeah.
Just want to throw that in one last time. Not everybody's a hero. You're a hero. Not some people. Some heroes wear capes. Some people don't.
Yeah, MTA needs to relax. All right, guys.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
the ferry.
The ferry and them. They're gonna have our pictures up there. Do not let them
man.
on.
All right, peace, everybody. Guys, don't back
Peace
out
out.
yet.
Listening to the Woken Up